Hi, I'm Johannes from Avatar, and you're watching KSTV.
Hi, I'm here with Johannes in Tampere, and welcome.
Thank you.
You're here playing with Engel on this tour, Tour of the Dead. How long? When is this tour ending?
Next week, actually, in total it's been around a month, but off and on, focusing on weekends, mostly Sweden. We did a little bit on Norway and Denmark, and now we do these two shows here in Suomi.
Well, thank you. well said. Your tour is ending, and the next show that I saw listed was on August 8th on Sweden, a festival tour.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in the meantime?
We will hopefully finally finish up the last touches on our next album. The summer will be devoted to that. But it's too early to give details about it, when and where and how, but we're working extremely hard right now to put out some new music.
Yeah, okay. So new album coming, and you're working on that, so you don't have any promotional stuff before the August show or anything like that?
No, nothing planned at this point. Like I said, we still have the final stage of the writing phase in front of us, and then we need to find the time to actually record it in a proper studio. So that will swallow the whole summer, if I know us.
So you don't have the studio booked yet or anything like that?
No. We're still looking at different alternatives, and because we feel that with Black Waltz, the one that is out now, we feel we really outdid ourselves, and we are very proud of the work we've done. And that's a problem, because usually after this amount of time that has passed since that release, we're used to start hating our own albums. I gotta change this, gotta fix this, and now we're like, it's still pretty sweet, you know. so we really had to find that, that kick that we need to put in up our own asses to get ourselves going. So it's a very tough process.
Okay. Well, do you have a producer yet?
We're between producers right now. We're looking at different constellations for that. Again, and I hate being the guy saying it's too early to say this and this and that, because if I could mention some names and it would sound really cool, but it could go either way at this point, so it's too early.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, the latest album, it's more than a year, almost a year and a half since it came out in January of 2012. Have you had any time to compose any new songs or anything between this time?
Oh yeah, millions and millions, to be honest. It's just so that part we have riffs for 10 albums, I guess, and a bunch of choruses and some lyrical notes alongside that as well. It's just this, now it's mainly a puzzle to have it really make sense and to really become Avatar. Right. That's phase is left right now.
Okay. Well, off to another topic. You toured with so many different kind of bands like Impaled Nazarene and In Flames and Helloween also. So
here actually with Helloween.
Oh, okay. So you've seen, I guess because they're all so different kind of music style-wise. You've seen a lot of different kind of metal fans. Which kind of metal fans do you prefer?
Oh, well, that's pretty hard actually. The thing is, I have been, sometimes I get the questions, the question, what do you look forward to the most when going to our country? Right. And that may have been, Poland or Finland or Germany or the US or whatever. And I'm always like, well, it's fun to play a tourist, but I usually look forward the most to meet the metalheads. Right. And so I don't know if I can distinguish that in that way. It's pretty clear, like I said, we tour with pretty different kinds of bands through the years, and it's pretty obvious when we are, genre-wise closer to the band we're touring with. Right. There's always a relative scale, but so sometimes, I'm a huge Helloween fan, and that was a dream come true for me, but for some of the people there, it was not a dream come true to have their heads blown off by our intense screaming stuff,
Yeah.
you know. But
So different.
yeah, but that is still fun to us because it's always a nice feeling to be the heaviest band on the billing.
Well, if you had to say one of these big bands you've toured with, which band was the one that was closest to your fan base?
Oh, in latter years, in this year actually, it's so hard. No, actually, now I really don't know. Actually, because now we're off in this field that where we haven't really explored before, and according to people who are listening to us, we neither have they, you know. But back in the day when we were closer to our Melodeath roots, where was when we had a chance to tour with In Flames, of course. So it was a clear Gothenburg connection. That's time.
Yes.
Now it's way different. They are way different, and we are way different. So I guess it wouldn't be the same. Maybe more fun actually now than before.
I was going through your website, and there was a lot of cool stuff that you normally don't see in other bands' website. You have like guitar tablatures over there, and then you have some competitions to play those songs and recording them and sending to you. Where did you come up with the ideas, and how did you come up with these ideas?
Well, the thing is that we have been trying really hard to. We realize that people, you know, the listeners, the fans, whatever you want to call them, are on the social medias. You know, that is where people are hanging out. That is where people find out their news and which bands comes to town and stuff. And we are not really originally that much of social media people. We're more of an anti-social media people. So I always wanted to make my own Facebook page, but with just one button for hate and a status saying no comment, and that would be more for me. Right. But we realized that people are out there, and it's pretty cool once we got into it. That is actually, even if we're late to the party, it's kind of fun to be able to communicate with people directly and for people to find us and all that. And this is just a way to stay active there that fits us. You know, we're mainly about our music and our performance, and to share that musical thing with them, that they get to play, they get to learn how to play what we are playing. You know, that is something that we can relate to because we were always looking for the tabs of our favorite bands growing up. You know.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, great! Like, why don't every band does this? It was
exactly. You know, it's something we would like to have had growing up, listening to our heroes. You know.
Not going to the library and trying to find some books about it.
Yeah, it's very hard to find Impale Nazarene tablature in the libraries.
True. Have you seen the difference when you started to be active on the social media, on your like record sales or on your shows?
Yeah, I guess so, but it has gone hand in hand. You know, we came back to tour a bit more at the same time as so it's hard to know which part had which effect, to be more exact. You know, it's so I guess so. You know, at least people are able to be more vocal about being into us because they know we are there and we are reading and replying as well, as much as we can.
I watched the couple of latest music videos, Torn Apart and Smells Like a Freak Show. They were really well made and fun ideas. So who comes up with the ideas?
Well, we are working with, he was originally our photographer for the work while we were working on these for this album cover for Black Waltz. His name is Johan Kalén. And it's basically him and us. And a lot of it is... we're all a team about it. I feel highly involved, but it's especially alongside Johan is John, our drummer, who's very much in love in creating music videos and making the concepts for them and stuff, and on the production side of it all. But yeah, it came with this photographer who, through a happy accident, we tried to make a music video with him, which was Black Waltz, and it turned out so well, and also the creative, you know, the perfect balance of that we worked really well together and fight really well together. So it's very passionate and everyone is very devoted in that small team.
Yeah. Well, have you always, like, you've been around for a long time. Have you, like, when you started, was it the idea with the band to be, like, have a really distinguishable visual image, or did it came later?
It came organically. It was, we have always been fans of that, and it, you know, it doesn't always have to be the painted faces or the whatever, but we like like love even when bands are, you know, this full total package,
Right.
where because music, rock and roll, the live show is not just what you hear, it's what you see, what you smell, and you know what you can touch, and all of that. And we love it when it all fits together. You know, the album cover, the music video, and it just took a bunch of years for us to find a way that made sense for us. It was actually with the Black Walls music video that we just. Yeah, we have a bunch of, you know, people drilling through the noses, swallowing swords and fire and stuff in it, and we needed me to sing in it because it would have been too much with the whole band.
Yeah.
Because we already had so many people doing their performance in it.
Right.
So okay, I just walk around, do the teen idol thing, walking around singing in the video on my own without the band, and we needed it to make sense, you know, how I would fit in. So okay, we got some circus freaks. Let's be a scary clown. You know, it's metal. It makes sense. And when we tried it, just said click, and it was a perfect fit for us and for me. You know, we found home.
Yeah.
We found, by just a happy accident, we found a look to go along with our music.
Yeah, that's great. Like really organic way to find your own stuff.
It feels good. You know, it would have been maybe in a way even better if when our first album came out when we were, you know, babies, we were 17, 18. Yeah, 17 and 18 years old, basically. And it would have, maybe it would have been great if we would have released music like this then and have the look from the beginning so people didn't have to ask. But this is how it happened to happen. Two things. We have evolved very, very much together and grown up together. And still stayed together and kept our name and stayed as one group. Yeah. So therefore it has been very evolutionary, which is inevitable because, you know, we were kids starting doing this.
So you haven't had so many group player changes during this like more than a decade time. So what keeps you like together so tightly?
I guess we have, because we started with the fighting pretty early, the disagreements pretty early, the egomania early on, you know, which means that we got it out of the way pretty early and we figured each other out almost immediately. You know, we had this, our first European tour, you know, the big, wow, finally we're going in a tour bus and all that is so cool. We were 19 years old, give or take a year, depending on member. And we were touring with Impale Nazarene. Yeah. And we didn't know anything and made fools out of ourselves. And they had a rough tour anyway, which is their story to tell, not mine. But it was a very rough situation. Yeah. And we were so, you know, blue-eyed and naive and everything. And we were about to kill each other in the end of it. And so we took a break, didn't talk for a couple of weeks, some of us. Yeah. But for some reason, we still decided, okay, let's keep on going. And then suddenly we had all this shit behind us. Yeah. It was yeah. So since then, the thing is, we had some member changes before we knew how to play guitars. Right. When we were, again, high school years. Yeah. But since 2003, we have only had one member change, and that is as Tim came into the band. Yeah, and we knew for years and years anyway, so it was still part of the family taking his place in the band, so it felt great.
Well, yeah, that's really that's like that doesn't happen really often, so it's
no, I have noticed that through the years. We are very privileged to be working with each other.
So how pissed off were you when James Cameron made a movie called Avatar?
Well, it's an honor that he decided to make a movie about me. And I love Sigourney Weaver from the Alien days, you know, so it's pretty cool that she gets to play me. But then I'm a dude and I'm not blue, so that makes some things up. I'm sorry, that's an old joke. I've been saying that for 4 years now, but
I'm sure somebody asked this from you before. But.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we are the real Avatar in 3D, and I think in my personal taste, and I like Terminator 2. He has done good movies as well, but to me, the movie Avatar was, luckily, to me, not that good. It would have been worse if it was, oh, this is so awesome, you know, this is...
How can we fill this name?
Yeah, exactly, but I still feel with some patience and endurance, we shall be the dictionary definition of avatar with time, you know.
I'm sure you will. Well, thank you for the interview, and have a great show.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure.